Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're diving into something seriously fascinating. We are unpacking a specific ancient Vedic dialogue recounted by the sage Markandeya, and we're going to focus entirely on what this source text reveals about the literal mechanics of salvation, virtue, and merit. It's honestly like looking at an ancient cosmic ledger. We're going to explore exactly how these texts quantified good deeds and, more importantly, what the promised payouts were. If you're into understanding how ancient cultures structured their universe and defined the rules for a good life, you are absolutely going to love this. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the quest for virtue. So let's set the scene. Our source text drops us right into a conversation where a seeker named Muni Tarkshya is asking for guidance from the wise Saraswati. And he isn't just asking for, casual life advice. He's on a profound quest for virtue. He essentially wants the ultimate cheat sheet for living right, asking, what is the best thing for a man to do here below? It's such a universal existential question, right? It totally grounds this ancient mystical text in a deeply relatable human desire. He specifically wants to know how to live without craving or desire in this world. It's a quest for peace and a flawless moral compass, which is something I think we can all relate to, no matter what era we live in. Moving on to Section 2, Visions of Celestial Regions. Now, Saraswati, she doesn't just hand him a dry, boring list of rules. Oh no. She instantly raises the stakes by painting this vivid, breathtaking picture of the ultimate reward for a virtuous life. She outlines supreme beatitude with the immortals in the celestial realms, and the text describes these realms as having pellucid, meaning crystal clear, sacred lakes. We're talking about waters completely filled with fish, flowers, and golden lilies. The text explicitly says that these lakes are like shrines, and literally just looking at them is enough to wipe away your grief. It's a realm of absolute, ultimate contentment, where pious men dwell on the shores, attended by golden-complexioned apsaras. It's basically the absolute pinnacle of peace. But hey, every ledger has two sides, right? So the crucial point here is understanding what happens if you fail. The text sharply juxtaposes this heavenly peace against a really terrifying alternative. On one side, you have the sacred lakes and supreme beatitude. On the other, the text describes these darksome lower regions. And the imagery here is striking. It says a man descends there by his own acts, becomes infested by the evil spirits of his own passions, and is tossed around like a ship in a storm on the high seas. The contrast is just incredibly stark. Serene golden lakes versus a violent dark storm of your own making. Which brings us to Section 3, the ultimate gift. Cows. So how exactly do you secure your spot by those golden lakes and avoid the storm? Well, the text transitions into some highly specific, and I mean specific, mechanics of ancient merit. It lays out a direct one-to-one correlation between your earthly donation and your celestial payout. Give bullocks, you reach the solar regions. Give clothes, you get the lunar world. Give gold, you attain the state of the immortals. But if you give cows to Brahmanas, you attain the highest regions. It is this incredibly structured, tiered system of cosmic rewards. But wait, how all do you actually get to stay in these highest regions? This is where the math gets wild. According to Saraswati, if a person gives a beautiful cow, one that is easily milked and has a fine calf, that person will live in the celestial regions for as many years as there are hairs on the body of that donated animal. Just wrap your head around that for a second. The hairs on a cow are virtually uncountable. It is a beautiful, poetic way of promising a near eternity of bliss for a single, well-chosen earthly gift. And you can't just give any cow. The text absolutely delights in the details here. The quality of your gift actually alters the reward. For instance, a young, strong bullock capable of drawing a plow, that is mathematically equal to giving 10 regular cows. Then there's the well-carapationed Kapila cow, given with a brazen milk pail and money. And, maybe most fascinating of all, the text mentions presenting a sesamum cow, which is sesame seeds shaped into the form of a cow, complete with horns made of actual gold. This highly specific ritual object easily leads the giver straight to the regions of the Vasus. Here's the kicker, though. Giving this Kapila cow isn't just some cosmic ATM transaction where you put in a coin and get a ticket to heaven. The source text promises something much more profound. It states that this cow, by its own distinguished qualities, becomes a giver of everything and literally reaches the side of the man who gave her away in the next world. The gift actually becomes a divine companion. So you aren't just buying your way in, you are creating an eternal bond with the physical embodiment of your own virtue. And the ripple effect of this virtue? It is massive. The cosmic ledger doesn't just apply to the individual. The text explicitly states that this act of giving saves from perdition not just the giver, but his sons, his grandsons, and his ancestors up to the 7th generation. One single act of supreme virtue retroactively and proactively cleanses your entire family tree, pulling them away from those darksome, stormy lower regions we talked about earlier.
Okay, let's look at Section 4, Other Paths to Merit.
Now, you might be thinking, what if I can't give a cow? Does the text just leave you hanging? Nope. It very impartially lays out secondary paths to cosmic merit. These include things like giving a daughter in marriage in the Brahma form, bestowing gifts of land on Brahmanas, making other appropriate presents, and the rigorous daily practice of presenting oblations to the sacred fire constantly for a period of 7 years. These are essentially the alternative structural pillars of a righteous life, according to the text, offering you different routes to build up that cosmic ledger. And the payout for these alternative paths? Still unbelievably grand. The text tells us that these specific acts lead directly to the regions of Purandara. Furthermore, just like with the gift of the cow, the virtuous man who keeps the sacred fire for 7 years sanctifies his entire lineage, 7 generations up and 7 generations down. The math stays amazingly consistent. Profound dedication yields multi-generational salvation.
Finally, we arrive at Section 5, Keeping the Sacred Fire.
As we wrap up this explainer, there's this really fascinating pivot in the dialogue. Saraswati has just laid out all these incredibly detailed answers. She's mapped out the lakes, the cows, the generations, all the specific realms. But Tarksha, ever the focused learner, realizes that all this high-level knowledge means he now requires even deeper technical instructions. Hearing about the immense power of the sacred fire, he doesn't just say, "Cool, thanks," and leave. He is eager to learn more. Actually, in this ancient framework, knowledge only seems to breed the desire for more specific, actionable knowledge. He needs the exact operational manual for the rituals Saraswati just praised. Which leaves us with this incredible cliffhanger from the source text. Tarkshya asks, "What are the rules for the maintenance of the sacred fire as inculcated in the Vedas? I shall now learn from thee the time-honored rules." The dialogue doesn't just tie everything up with a neat little bow, right? It opens the door to a whole new, intensely complex set of instructions. And it really makes you wonder, what if the ultimate pursuit of virtue isn't just about reaching a final destination, but is actually a never-ending spiral of seeking deeper, more profound knowledge? It's a fascinating question to ponder as we officially close the book on today's Cosmic Ledger.